Guru Gedara educational program. Now we are going to learn about maths. Do you know what is our lesson today? Our lesson is ratio. My dear kids, I think now you are ready for the lesson. Page number 114. Before starting the lesson, you should know what are the learning outcomes, learning matters you can collect after doing the lesson. Then, by studying this lesson, you will be able to understand the concept of a ratio of two quantities. Write ratios equivalent to a given ratio. Write a ratio in its simplest form and understand the difference between ratio and rate. Now, first of all, we should identify what is a ratio. To introduce what is a ratio, I like to explain some examples. Can you make your own cup of tea? Let's see how to make a cup of tea. How we can make it? Then your delicious cup of tea. First of all, you want hot water with tea or coffee. And what are other ingredients? They are sugar and milk powder. Then how we can add them? If you don't know how to make cup of tea, then you can ask your mother. She will say, add 2 teaspoons of sugar and 3 teaspoons of milk powder. It is according to my preference. Then I think your mother will say same thing. We use 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3 teaspoons of milk powder. Teaspoons. Here we didn't use to measure sugar or milk powder using gram or milligram, but we used teaspoon. It is a identical instrument. You know capacity is 5 milliliter. Then here teaspoon, it is the unit of measuring sugar and milk powder. Then how we can write down the ratio? Ratio between sugar and milk powder of a cup of tea is 2 to 3. How we can write it? 2 colon and we can write down next number 3. Why we wrote 2 first? Then here I gave ratio between sugar and milk powder. First sugar, then we should write down the number relevant to sugar. It is 2 teaspoons and milk powder, it is 3 teaspoons. So, ratio is written as 2 to 3. Then it is read as 2 to 3. Then I think you can understand it. Then for further explanation, let's go to another example. Do you like to name her as Anne? She says, to bake the bread, I use 3 cups of plain flour for every 2 cups of wheat flour. 3 cups of plain flour for every 2 cups of wheat flour. Then how we can write down the ratio? Plain flour to wheat flour. There are 3 cups of plain flour and 2 cups of wheat flour. Then ratio is 3 to 2. It is 3 to 2. Now, there is another small boy. Let's name him as Tashi. He says, to bake the bread, I use 2 cups of wheat flour for every 3 cups of plain flour. Now, how we can write down the ratio? Wheat flour to plain flour. I use 2 cups of wheat flour for every 3 cups of plain flour. Both are same, aren't it? Here 3 cups of plain flour, here also 3 cups of plain flour. 2 cups of wheat flour and here also it is 2 cups of wheat flour. But here 3 to 2, here it is 2 to 3. Both are same, but way of writing it is changed. Reason, here plain flour to wheat flour, but Tashi said wheat flour to plain flour. Then my dear kids, I think you can understand it. Furthermore, then let's go to another example. Then there are two houses, Isha's family and Jack's family. Let's see how many members are there in Isha's family. Mother, father, grandfather, grandmother and Isha. All are 5. In Jack's family, how many members are there? There are only 3 members, mother, father and Jack. Now can't we write down the ratio of member of each family, Isha's family to Jack's family? What should be it? It is 5 to 3. It is 5 to 3. Then we wrote ratio using numbers. It is a numerical relationship. A ratio is a numerical relationship between the amounts of 2 or more quantities that have been represented using the same unit. It is a numerical relationship, but here we wrote ratios between amounts of 2 quantities. Then, when we are writing ratios, we have to follow some rules. A ratio is represented without units. When we are writing the ratio, then units are not mentioned. The sign colon is used to show a ratio. Then let's see this ratio. First one, 5 to 15. It is 5 to 15. Second, it is 7 to 3. Last is 10 to 1. Or we can read it 5 is to 15. It is also correct. 5 is to 15, 7 is to 3 and 10 is to 1. Then dear kids, now I am giving another example. Can you see there are 2 pencils, pencil X and pencil Y, and lengths are given in this way. Length of pencil X is 3 centimeter and 4 millimeter. Pencil Y is 8 centimeter. Now let's write down the ratio. The ratio of the length of X pencil to Y pencil. It is X pencil to Y pencil. First I gave X pencil, next it is Y pencil. So what are the lengths? Length of X pencil is 3 centimeter and 4 millimeter. Length of Y pencil is 8 centimeter. Then we can write down ratio, but both are in different units, centimeter and millimeter. But you know the knowledge how to convert centimeters or millimeters into another unit. Here we know both are converted into millimeters. 3 centimeters is written as 30 millimeters. Then 34 millimeter to 80 millimeter. Now what happened? Both are in same unit. It is millimeter. Then we can write down ratio without writing the unit. But we should keep this colon 2 dots. Then ratio is 34 to 80. It is 34 to 80. In this example, we converted given units into same units and then next we wrote the ratio. Now, ratio is written as 34 to 80. But dear kids, we can simplify this ratio in the simplest form. Let's see it how to do it in next steps. Okay. Now, let's go to your exercise 21.1. There are some questions then, but I selected few questions to do now. Then pay your attention on question number 1. It is page number 118. First of all, read the question well. What is it? Select the statements that denotes a ratio. Then read part A. To make milk tea, 3 teaspoons of milk powder and 2 teaspoons of sugar should be used. What is it? It is our first example, isn't it? Then there is no any doubt. You can write down the ratio. So, this statement shows ratio. Then your answer should be a ratio. Then what is part B? Sunil is taller than Sarath. Sunil is taller than Sarath. Now, can you see numerical values here? Taller than Sarath. It is a comparison. Then we have a numbers to write down the ratio. So, it does not show ratio. So, your answer should be not a ratio. Now, let us go to part C. Now, read it and select your answer. A rectangular land has a width of 80 meter and a length of 117 meter. Is it a ratio or not a ratio? We have numerical values 80 meter and 117 meters. Then so we can write down the ratio. It is a ratio. Then part D. What is it? To make a cake, 250 gram of sugar and 500 gram of flour are needed. What happened? Now there are numerical values. Then there is no any doubt. You can write down the ratio. Then your answer, it is a ratio. Then last one, part E. Sarath has got more marks than Malindu for mathematics. Sarath has got more marks. Then there are no any mark, but it is a comparison. Then we can't write down the ratio. So, it does not show a ratio. Your answer should be not a ratio. Then I think all of you can understand it well. My dear kids, are you happy to go to another question? Then I selected question number 9. It is in page number 119. First read it well. Then before my answer, then try to get your answer. Rajita has 8 rupees and Vijita has 5 rupees and 50 cents. Find the ratio of the money that the two have. But they didn't mention Rajita to Vijita or Vijita to Rajita. Then it is according to you. You can write it anyway. Rajita to Vijita or Vijita to Rajita. Then now I arrange my answer Rajita to Vijita. Rajita has 8 rupees. Vijita has 5 rupees and 50 cents. Now how you can write your answer? Now they are not in same unit, rupees and cents. Now you should know the relationship between rupees and cents. If you don't know the relationship, you can't write down the answer. 8 rupees, how you can convert into cents? We know there are 100 cents for 1 rupee. Then in 8 rupees, there are 800 cents. And 5 rupees, it is 500 cents. 500 plus 50, 550 cents. Now what happened? Now both are in same unit. Same unit, it is cents. Then 800 cents to 550 cents. Then my dear kids, you can write down the ratio. Remove the unit and keep the sign colon. Then answer is 800 to 550. Now you learn how to write down the ratio. Then I am giving another question. It is also in your textbook. Page number 119. Question number 10. Then I can show the answer, but you should get your answer. First, get your answer. Find the ratio of the amount of water in container A to the amount in container B. Now, they gave, write the ratio container A to the container B. Then this is the diagram. In container A, it is 1 liter and 450 milliliter. In container B, it is 2 liters. Then both are in different units, liters and milliliters. Then how you can convert them into same unit? Is it easy to convert into liter or into milliliter? Yes, it is easy to convert into milliliter. Then we know 1000 milliliter is equal to 1 liter. Then let's convert them. First of all, write A, next B, because they gave it. Then ratio A to B. Then these are the given amounts. Then convert, it is 1450 milliliter and 2 liter is written as 2000 milliliter. Now both are in same units. What happened? Now you can write down the ratio. It is 1450 and 2000. Then how you can read 1450 to 2000. But this answer can be simplified. Let's do them after doing these questions. Okay. Now let's go to another one. Then read this question well. I can help you to obtain the answer. Then here, to make a cement mixture, 2 pairs of cement and 6 pairs of sand are mixed together. Find the ratio of the cement to the sand in this mixture. Now what is the measure in unit here? 2 pairs of cement, 6 pairs of sand. Then measure in unit is pails. First, we can write down cement to sand because they given it. Then write the ratio cement to sand. Then what are the amounts? Here I can use these diagrams. There are 2 pairs of cement and 6 pairs of sand. Then we can write down the ratio. It is 2 to 6. Ratio is 2 to 6. Then we are going to continue same question. I am adding next part. How many pails of sand are needed to be mixed with 1 pail of cement to make this mixture? Now what happened? There is only 1 pail of cement. Then you should find out the number of pails have to be added to make this mixture. Then sand pails. However, to explain, I arranged this table. Initially, we had 2 pairs of cement and 6 pairs of sand. We wrote the ratio 2 to 6. Now it is the given information. Now in this question, they gave 1 pail of cement. I think you can feel. Kids, can you feel? Then if there are 6 pails with 2 pails of cement, what should be the answer here? There are 2 pails, half of it is 1. Then isn't it this number of pails? It is 3, half of the number of sand pails. It is 6, now it becomes 3. Then ratio is 1 to 3. But your answer, they are asking how many pairs of sand. Then your answer should be written number of sand pails is 3. Is it clear? I think all of you can understand it. Then again, there initially we had 2 pails, half of it is 1. So we can think here answer should be half of it. Then it is 3 then number of sand pails is 3. Now we are going to continue same question. What is it? Find the number of cement pails and sand pails that are required to make 16 pails of the mixture. Now total number of mixture is given. Total number of pails is 16. You should find out the number of cement pails and number of sand pails. Then think little bit how you can get answer. I can help you. Then look at this picture. This is the initial situation. We mixed 2 cement pails and 6 sand pails. Then count what is the total number of pails here. 2 and 6. Total is 8. Now in this question they are asking then total number of pails is 16. What happened? It is doubled. 8 is doubled. It is 16. Then mathematically we can obtain it multiplying by 2. Then isn't it this one? There is set of cement and sand pails, 2 cement pails and 6 sand pails. Then we can add another set of same number of pails. Then I am adding another set. Now what happened? Count what is the total number of pails. There are 4 cement pails and 12 sand pails. Then total number of pails become 16. Then it is easy. Then total became double. Then number of cement pails is 4 and number of sand pails is 12. Number of cement pails is 4 and number of sand pails is 12. Then count, then total is 16. Then my dear kids, I think all of you can understand it. Then it is very easy to think. Then I am giving another question in your textbook. Then you can use the knowledge of this question to solve the next question. What is it? It is the 13th question of your exercise. Same page. Page is 119. Now read the question well and try to get correct answers. Then after that, after finding your answer, I can show my answer. Then you can assess yourself. Now let's find the answer. First of all, read it well. Kids, in your textbook there is a small mistake. It is a printing mistake. Then correct your question in this way and get the answer. You should read this question well. Okay. Now let's find answer. To make a cement mixture, 2 pans of cement and 12 pans of sand are mixed together. Find the ratio of the cement to the sand in this mixture. It is very easy because number of cement pans and sand pans are given. Now what is the unit here? Unit is pans. Then cement and sand, 2 pans and 12 pans, then ratio is 2 to 12. We know. Now we know how to write down the ratio. It is very easy. Then here ratio is 2 to 12. Then go to next part. Continue the same question. How many pans of sand are needed to be mixed with 1 pan of cement to make this mixture? Then you have knowledge because we did a question, then it like this one, then apply the knowledge now. Then how many pans of sand with 1 pan of cement? Information, given information, 2 pans of cement mixed with 12 pans of sand. Now what happened? 1 pan of cement. Then it is half of 2. Then 12 is divided by 2. You can obtain the answer. Answer is 6 pans of sand. It is 6 pans of sand. In previous question I used diagrams. I use diagrams for you, then you could understand it well. Now, there are no pictures, but you can write your answers in this way. Because it is not easy to draw diagrams or pictures, then you can write your answer in this way. Then let us continue same thing. Find the number of cement pans and sand pans that are required to make 28 pans of the mixture. Now what happened? Total is 28 pans. Total is given. But in this question they gave initially there were 2 pans of cement and 12 pans of sand. Then think, what is the total? Total is 14. Now in this question total is 28. Then you know 28 is twice of 14. It is doubled. Then you can arrange your answer. Mathematically we can write answer 28 pans 14 into 2. 14 is multiplied by 2. Then cement pans 2 multiplied by 2. Answer is 4 pans. Then what is the number of sand pans? 12 is multiplied by 2. Then answer is 24 pans. Now is it clear? Then I think all of you got the correct answers. I wish all of you have correct answers. Then here answers 4 pans, 4 cement pans and 24 sand pans. Okay, now we have to continue our lesson. So that let us go to next part. It is equivalent ratios. You know the word equivalent because we wrote equivalent fractions. But now it is equivalent ratios. Then word equivalent. To introduce this one, I would like to use this example. Then Isha's family and Jack's family. Can you remember? Let us find the ratio between the number of apples to be distributed to the members of the two houses, 1 apple per member. Then there should be 5 apples. Here there are 3 apples. Then how you can write down the ratio? Ratio is 5 to 3. Ratio is 5 to 3. Now, let us pay your attention on next slide. What is it? First read it well and think what is the number of apples to be divided among these families. How we can divide the apples? Let us find the ratio between the number of apples to be distributed to the members of the two houses, 2 apples per member. Now 2 apples per member. This 2 for mother. This 2 for grandmother, for grandfather, for father and for daughter. Then total is 10. In other family, this 2 for father, this 2 for mother, this 2 for son. Now you can see there are 6 apples. Then we can write down the ratio. It is 10 to 6. What happened? Now each person got equal number of apples. Ratio become 10 to 6. Ratio is 10 to 6. Now I would like to go to another slide. Then pay your attention well. Let us find the ratio between the number of apples to be distributed to the members of the two houses, 3 apples per member. Now 3 apples per member. How we can divide? This 3 for mother, another 3 for grandmother, for grandfather, for father and for Isha. Then in other family, in same way apples are distributed for father, for mother, for son. Now count the number of apples. Their number of apples is 15. In other family it is 9. Now we got the ratio 15 to 9. It is 15 to 9. Then let's summarize these things. I am going to next slide. Then we distributed apples. Per 1 apple it was 5 to 3. Per 2 apples it was 10 to 6. Per 3 apples it was 15 to 9. Then each person got equal number of apples. Then they are called as equivalent ratios. Then 5 to 3 equal to 10 to 6 equal to 15 to 9. Then they are called as equivalent ratios. Then mathematically how we can obtain these ratios? Using diagrams I explain how to get equivalent ratios. But dear kids, you should write answers mathematically using mathematical operations. Then how we can write? Multiplying the terms of the ratio by 2. Our ratio is, first one is 5 to 3. Then each term, then 5 and 3, they are multiplied by 2. 5 by 2 and 3 by 2. Answer is 10 to 6. Then it is the equivalent ratio of 5 to 3. Then we can write down equivalent ratios more. Then let's multiply by 3. What happened? Initially we have 5 to 3. Then 5 to 3, 5 and 3, they are multiplied by 3. Then 5 by 3 is 15. 3 by 3 is 9. Then we got the ratio 15 to 9. Then these are the ratios we got. Mathematically you can write answers in this way. Then kids, I think all of you can understand it. Now another example. Then remember our first example. We made a cup of tea. Your delicious cup of tea. Then what are the ingredients we added? 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3 teaspoons of milk powder. Ratio was 2 to 3. Then count what is the total number of spoons. It is 5. Now think, your mother is ill. Then she can't make your cup of tea. But what you have to do now? You should make your cup of tea and also for your mother. Then you should make 2 cups. How you can make now? Let's make 2 cups of tea. Then how you can add sugar? For a cup, 2. Then for 2 cups, another 2. All are 4. Now how many milk powder spoons have to be added? For a cup, it is 3. Then for another cup, you should add another 3. Then total is 6. What happened? Now ratio is written as 4 to 6. It is 4 to 6. Mathematically, how you can obtain it? Terms are multiplied by 2. Then 2 by 2, 4. 3 by 2 is 6. What happened for total? Total number of teaspoons is 10. Then it is also given by 5 into 2. Then it is 10. Now we made 2 cups of tea. Now in the evening your father come back. Then he is very tired. What happened? You should make cup of tea. Then for your father, for your mother and also for you. Then you should make 3 cups of tea. Now you have the knowledge of making delicious cup of tea, as good as your mother's cup of tea. Then let's make 3 cups of tea. For a cup, we can add 2 teaspoons of sugar. For another cup, another 2 spoons more. For third cup, another 2 spoons more. Then there are 6 sugar teaspoons. Then milk powder. For a cup, 3 teaspoons of milk powder. For another cup, 3 teaspoons of milk powder. For other cup, there are 3 teaspoons of milk powder more. Now, what is the total? It is, ratio is 6 to 9. Then mathematically you can obtain them multiplying by 3. Then total is 15. Then you can observe 5 into 3. 5 into 3. Then you made 3 cups. Then 5 into 3 is 15. Then total number of teaspoons is 15. Then I think it is clear for you. Then my dear kids, we learn to write down the equivalent ratios. Then furthermore, let's study how to write down them. Then 2 to 3. Terms are multiplied by 2. Answer 4 to 6. Then we made 3 cups of tea. Then quantities are multiplied by 3. Then answer 6 to 9. If we want, we can write equivalent ratios more. Then you can multiply by 4, 5. Using any whole number, you can multiply given ratio. Then there are many equivalent ratios for a given ratio. Here I multiplied it by 4. Then answer 8 to 12. Then what is our method? Then these are equivalent ratios. 2 to 3, 4 to 6, 6 to 9, 8 to 12. They are equivalent ratios. Then you can obtain equivalent ratios by multiplying each term of the ratio by the same number. Okay, don't forget. Then you can obtain equivalent ratios by multiplying each term of the ratio by the same number. But don't use 0. Why? If you are multiplying any number by 0, then answer becomes 0. So, we can't use 0 to multiply. Is it clear? Now, let's do examples more, because you should have ability to write down equivalent ratios using multiplication. Now, let's go to this example. Write 2 equivalent ratios for 5 to 3. How we can write? You can use any number to multiply them. But here I multiplied them using 2. Then 5 by 2, 3 by 2, then equivalent ratio is 10 to 6. Then here I used 3. Then 5 by 3, 15, 3 by 3, 9. Then equivalent ratio is written as 15 to 9. Next one, write 2 equivalent ratios for 2 to 7. 2 to 7. Then multiply by 3, then answer is 6 to 21. Let's write another ratio. Here I multiplied them using 10. You can select any number. Then 2 to 7. Multiply by 10, answer is 20 to 70. It is 20 to 70. Then my dear kids, we learned how to multiply given ratio to obtain the equivalent ratios. However, we should find another method. We have to find out another method. Using multiplication, we wrote equivalent ratios. But now, we have to use another method. What is it? Look at these pictures. It is a set of animals. There are 8 rabbits and 4 tortoises. 8 rabbits and 4 tortoises. Then what is the ratio? Ratio is 8 to 4. Now I want to make another set of groups of these animals, but they should be same. Then make same groups. How we can make? I can divide these number of rabbits and tortoises into 2 groups, but they should be same. Let's see this one. Now these are the 2 groups. Then let's divide rabbits into 2 groups. All are 8. Then 8, in one group there are 4 rabbits, in other group there are another 4 rabbits. Now what happened? They are divided equally. Now what happened for tortoises? We should divide them into 2 groups equally. Then let's do it. Then 2 tortoises are in one group, then other are in other group. Now there are equal number of rabbits and tortoises. But can't we divide them into another number of groups? But don't forget amounts, the number of rabbits, number of tortoises should be same in each group. Then let's divide them. I think we can divide them into 4 groups. Then these are the 4 groups. Now rabbits, there are 8 rabbits. Then in each group there should be 2 rabbits. Now count them, all are 8. In each group there are equal number of rabbits. Now tortoises, we can divide 1 per 1 group. Now my dear kids, can you write down the ratio of each group? In this set there are 4 rabbits and 2 tortoises, then ratio is 4 to 2. Is it clear? We divided into 2 groups. Now ratio is 4 to 2. What happened in this group? There are 4 equal groups. Then in a group 2 rabbits and 1 tortoise. Then you can write down the ratio 2 to 1. Now ratio is 2 to 1. What happened? We wrote equivalent ratios. Initially we had 8:4. We divided it into 2 groups. Then ratio is 4 to 2. Again we divided them into 4 equal groups. Now what is the ratio? It is 2 to 1. Then what are they? We wrote equivalent ratios. We used the method of division. In previous slides we used the method of multiplication. Now we use the method of division. Now let's see how we can write them. Initially we had the ratio 8:4 and using the division we obtained ratios 4 to 2 and 2 to 1. Then they are mentioned here 8:4 equal 4:2 equals 2:1. Then how we can obtain them? Dividing by 2 and 2:2 again divided by 2. Then last we got 2:1. But can you divide it more? 2:1 or we can read 2 to 1. It is not simplified more. Then we have to introduce the simplest form of a ratio. Then in this ratio 8:4, the simplest form is 2 to 1. Then don't forget, if there is a ratio, if you can divide it, then dividing we can write down the simplest form. Now, a ratio equivalent to a given ratio can be obtained by dividing each term of the ratio by the same number. But don't use 0 because we can't divide a number using 0. Now let's do some examples. Are you happy to do? Then let's go to next one. Write the ratio 18:12. 18:12 in the simplest form. Now you can do it. How you can write down the simplest form? Use the method of division. 18:12. What are the numbers can you use to divide? Both are divisible by 8 and also they are divisible by 3 and they are divisible by 6. How you can write your answer? Then I am introducing two methods here. Then we can write down 18 to 12 and divide by 2. Answer is 9 to 6. Then you can identify 9 and 6 both are divisible by 3. Then what is the answer? Answer is 3 to 2. Now can you divide it more? No, 3 and 2. There are no any common factor. They are not divisible. So simplest form is 3 to 2. Now I am going to explain it again using another method. But here we have to use division. Once you can write down your answer using the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor 18 and 12, then it is 6. Then once you can divide 18 and 12 by 6, then answer become 3 to 2. Anyway, my dear kids, you can follow this method or this method. Now let's see another examples. Before that, let's do the questions of your exercise. Then pay your attention on exercise 21.2, page number 122. This is the question 2 is to 7 and 10 is to 30. Then write down your answers. Anyway, you can write answer, but multiplication is used in first one because 2 and 7 they are not divisible more. Then 2 to 7. You can select any digit to multiply them. Then my answer, I multiplied by 2, then equivalent ratio is 4 to 14, 10 to 30. But your answer may be changed because I multiply by 2. You can multiply by 3, 4 or 5 or any number. Then 10 to 30, divisible, they are divided by 10. Then answer become 1 to 3. It is the simplest form because 1 and 3 they are not divisible more. 50 to 45. How you can write down the equivalent ratio? Then you can multiply by 2, 3, 4 any number. But here 50 and 45 they are divisible. You can use any method. Here I use multiplication. 50 multiplied by 5, 45 multiplied by 5. Then answer is 250 to 225. But my dear kids, here you can use division because 50 and 45 they are divisible by 5. If you are dividing by 5, what is your answer? 50 divided by 5, 10. 45 divided by 5, 9. Then 10 to 9 is the simplest form. Now, let's go to another slide. Then here, what is the question now? It is second question of your exercise. Write each of the ratios given below in its simplest form. Now, they mention simplest form. Definitely, you should use the method of division. 40 to 70. How you can obtain answer? Divide by 10. Answer is 4 to 7. Answer is 4 to 7. Then 30 to 35. Then to keep it in the simplest form, you have to divide 30 and 35. They are divided by 5. Then 30 is divided by 5, 6. 35 is divided by 5, 7. So, the simplest form is 6 to 7. Then, this is the question number 3. You can read it. The length of a rectangle is 15 centimeter and its breadth is 10 centimeter. Find the ratio of the length to the breadth of the rectangle. What is it? Length to the breadth. Then you can't change. Then first write down length to breadth. Then you can get your answer. Then both are in same unit, 15 centimeter, 10 centimeter. Then once I wrote the answer 15 to 10. But now you learn to keep them in simplest form. Then in the simplest form, now you can't write only the ratio. Then you should write down the simplest form. 15 and 10, they are divisible, they are divided by 5. Then simplest form is 3:2. Now my dear kids, after writing the ratio, don't forget to keep your answer in the simplest form. Is it clear? Okay. Now, we should go to our next part. What is a rate? We learned ratio. Then what are ratios? Then ratio is written between quantities, between two quantities which are kept in same units. Now what is rate? Read this one. 10 eggs are used to make 1 kilogram of cake. 10 eggs. When we are going to buy some eggs from a shop, then we can ask, give me 2 eggs, 5 eggs, not in kilograms or grams. Then they are counting and you can buy the eggs. Then can you convert them into grams, kilograms? No, we can't do. Then here 1 kilogram of cake. Can you convert it into like that number of eggs? No, we can't do. So, these values are not represented in same unit. We can't do it. Now, let's go to another statement. A vehicle can travel 12 km on 1 liter of fuel. Now, what is the relationship between kilometers and liters? Can you convert kilometers into liters or liters into kilometers? No, we can't do. So, we can't write down the ratio. So, they are called as rates. Then another statement. The price of 10 guavas is 100 rupees. 10 guavas, it is number of guavas. Price is in rupees, it is 100 rupees. Then we can't convert them into same unit. Then another one. The value of a United States dollar in Sri Lanka is 180 rupees. Then they are in 2 units. Then United States dollar and Sri Lankan rupees. Then can you convert them? No, they are in 2 different units. So, such statements called as rates. Then how we can define? The two quantities in each of the above situations are measured in different units. Then then called as rates. Then let's solve some questions of exercise 21.3. First read them. First pay your attention on the question number 3. A vehicle travelled 20 km on 1 liter of fuel. How many liters of fuel are required to travel 120 kilometers? My dear kids, how you can get your answer? Then it is 20 kilometer using 1 liter of fuel. Then if it is 40 kilometer, what is the amount of fuel? It should be 2 liters. Then using that method, we can find out how many pipes of 20 are there in 120. Then let's use the method of division. You can write down your sentence in this way. Amount of fuel to travel 20 km is 1 liter. Then next step, amount of fuel to travel 120 km. Then 120 divided by 20, then answer is 6 liter. It is very easy, but you didn't learn rate. But I know when you are in primary classes also you used this method. Okay. Then let's go to another one. It is question number 4 of your textbook. 1 kilogram of sugar is sufficient to make 40 cups of tea. How much sugar is required to make 240 cups of tea? These situations are used in your day-to-day activities. Then how you can write your answer? First sentence, amount of sugar sufficient to make 40 cups is 1 kilogram. To make 80 cups, you should use 2 kilograms. If it is 120 cups, it becomes thrice. Then 3 kilograms. Then like that, you can find out the number of piles of 40 in 240. Then method 240 is divided by 40. Then what is the answer? Answer is 6 kilograms. Now are you happy to do another question? One more. Then question number 5. Read the question well. Question number 5. If the value of a sterling pound was 217 rupees on a certain day, what was the value of 8 sterling pounds on that day? Very easy. You know the price of 1. It is 217. Then find out the price of 8 sterling pounds. Then how you can apply it? It is the given information. The value of a sterling pound is 217 rupees. Then let's find what is the value of 8 sterling pounds. Then multiplication, 217 is multiplied by 8. Then answer is 1736 rupees. Then can't you use them in day-to-day activities? We have to use ratio. It is very interested. Also rate. You have to use them in your day-to-day activities. Then doing solutions. Then getting solutions from some problems. You can apply them. My dear kids, you can see these lessons again and again through NIE YouTube channel. Goodbye.